How's everybody doing on this Sunday evening? Y'all pardon me, man. I'm a little bit slow. I'm in slow motion, man. But we here. We got a couple things to discuss. Y'all see it's going down. It's going down. It's going down. And
All right, here we go.
um, things could come a little closer to home. What the fuck is on my phone? Y'all hear that? Can y'all? Is my sound good? Can y'all hear me? Is my sound alright? Hold up. Hear me? Is my sound good? Press one if my sound is good. Can you hear me? Anyway, I'm gonna rock out until some other people come ahead. We at war, y'all. I see a lot of people saying we, motherfucker, we're at war. We're all at war. Our country is at war, and something's telling me, man, I could be overreacting. I could be just paranoid, and I could be right. But something's telling me, man, this might not be our typical war where people over here in America will remain untouched. A lot of times we go to war and people, here in the States, we go on about our daily life. I was working last night in a club, right? Let me tell y'all, as you get older, right? I was working in the club, a bunch of youngins in the club. I was filming. And I'm checking my phone and I'm seeing bombs and missiles being flown in the sky. And then I turn and I look up and I see people just twerking, drinking, and acting like fools. And I'm like, is it just me or what am I missing, man? Like, look, I understand life goes on, right? And I got that. I get that. But do we understand the gravity of war here in the States? I don't think most people understand. And I don't think most people think shit can get real over here. A lot of y'all know there were two incidents yesterday. There was one in Austin, Texas, if I'm not mistaken. There was a pew pewing. I don't want to be too graphic because YouTube be tripping, but there was a suspected terrorist attack in Texas last night. Okay, uh, Sudanese. I gotta be very clear. It was a Sudanese fella because the delineation movement that the FBA is doing right now is right on time. There's a Sudanese dude, okay? He opened fire on a crowd of people. I think he unalived 3 or 5 people. He had a shirt on that said, what did his shirt say, y'all? Somebody help me. What did his shirt say? Something about Allah, property of Allah. And then out here in the DC area, there was a stabbing on the highway. There was a on the highway. How do you get two or three people got on the highway? And people are suspecting that these are the sleeper cells. And my language might get me dinged. Okay. It's a very sensitive time right now. But they listen, you'd be a fool to think that they are not sleeper cells here in America. And I want to talk to the liberal crowd, the people who get mad at me, right? When I say, hey, let's close the borders. You dig? Because as a black dude, I'm not supposed to say shit like that. I said something to that effect a couple months ago, and people unfriended me and got mad at me. And I'm like, are you fools even thinking ahead? Are y'all even thinking about if we ever go to war, you in your kumbaya ideology. Hey, everybody, come on in, fella, come on. You over there, come on in. We don't need no papers. We don't need nothing. Just come on over. What happens when they are sleeper cells? Because you know that they're here. Listen to all my liberal buddies, friends, boys and girls. They're here. They might be your neighbors. And I hate to be stereotypical. This is just something that I've been thinking about. I hate to be stereotypical, but I'm gonna say this, all right? And I might sound, fuck it, I can't really be racist. You see what I'm saying? I can be a bigot and I can be uh, prejudiced. This will be prejudice, what I'm about to say. Whatever. The vape shops. Do y'all go in these vape shops? I go in the, and look, fuck it. It is what it is. I said what I said, and I feel how I feel. There's a strange vibe when I go into these vape shops. I got a couple, there's a bunch of them where I live, and I did a video for one of them. And I interact with the owners or the people that work there, and they're Muslim. And I get a real eerie vibe every time I go into these vape shops and I deal with them. It seems like they live in these stores. It's very odd. They just pop up. I live in Mountain, Maryland, okay? And I wonder, how the fuck did they get out here? What are they doing? Call me crazy, man. Okay. I walked into the vape store last Monday, and the dude said, Assalamu alaikum, and he had this wicked grin on his face. It is what it is, bro. Yeah, I vape. Unfortunately, I had to get that off my chest because I don't see nobody talking about this. I'm sure they're probably under surveillance of some sort, but I get a real eerie vibe, and then I'm starting to think, man, what about my vape juice? What if they poison everybody's vape juice? They could easily start poisoning her, and just get a bunch of us about it here. But I went off on a tangent. I want to come back. Um, Sleeper cells. The sleeper cells are here in America, and there are a bunch of countries that want nothing but destruction and death to America. I advise everybody, especially in these major cities, I advise everybody to, if you carry, please carry. Please be mindful. Watch your back because right now, shit is getting heavy, man. And a lot of the world around us, they're very sleep. If you look at the blogs, if you look at your timeline, go on your Facebook, go on your Instagram, a lot of people are oblivious. A lot of people, a lot of Americans are sheltered and they think it can't happen. See, I walk around every day knowing that it can happen. Okay. I keep that in the front of my mind that, yeah, we've been very sheltered here in America. We've been taken care of for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But the Iranians, they're not happy, bro. And they're not backing down. Russia just chimed in and criticized Donald Trump and his actions. Was it China or North Korea? Was it China or North Korea that chimed in? These are people have predicted that Russia and North Korea or China, one of the two, y'all forgive me, will come to the aid of Iran. You understand? Miss Pamela said, remember those National Guards? Yes, I remember. I remember. He was another naturalized immigrant. Okay, so the irony, right? You got people out here that are in the streets fighting for immigrants, saying anybody can come over here because it's stolen land. Y'all, listen. I'm not a Republican, okay? But y'all see these fools out here? They in the streets fighting the people that are gonna protect their ass when the shit hit the fan. They out here fighting the people that are that they're gonna look to, that they're gonna be calling and trying to ask around. See, all these Democrats, these liberals, and the protesters, let them bombs start dropping over here. Let those parachutes start falling on the mainland. And we're gonna see all those people running around, right? They got so much to say about the current administration. They got so much to say about America. Who are they gonna be called? Because a lot of these liberals, they don't have guns like that. They don't know how to. They don't know how to protect themselves. You dig? I got some in the chat, don't it? Some of y'all liberals are out here protesting. Y'all can't protect us. Y'all are not warriors. You're not the warrior class. Okay. So in this whole fight in between left and right, the warrior class is going to reign supreme. I'm not listening to the side that aren't the warrior class. I'm not doing that. Y'all will get us in a trick bag, man. You understand? Let me get to some of these comments, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. We can get some more people in here. Miss Pamela said, I don't trust those people. We have to stay vigilant. Large crowds, concerts, and malls. Man, I had plans of going a couple places this summer. And I'm kind of thinking that I might want to fall back from that until this whole war is over. Because I believe, just my belief, I believe things might get heavy. And I'm not trying to fearmonger, but from what I understand, we did a lot of damage over there in Iran. And from what I'm seeing, they're not backing down, right? They with the shits. And they uh they want death to America, man. You dig? Jake said just immigrate to a safe country like Australia, Ireland. But the thing is, America will be safe, but not all parts. Yeah, I'm not immigrating nowhere, dog. Look here, my ancestors built this shit. You understand? My ancestors fought for me to be here and to have what I have. So I'm not going anywhere. You dig? I'll fight. You know what I mean? I'll get out there on the front lines if need be. We can get it popping, man. I go get some young niggas. We load the cars and the trucks up, and we'll take care of business. You know what I'm saying? Or at least try. You know what I mean? But just beware, man. I'm more worried about the sleeper cells. You know what I'm saying? Alice No says, look up drones USA. I'm gonna check it out. Terry Williams says the Warriors are in the person, not in the political affiliation. Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, Terry, what I'm saying to you is, you know, if you look at most of the people that you know that are Democrat, um, they're not warriors, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it real. TK said, I feel like America isn't prepared for what is to come. They think they are, but we aren't. Look here, bro. That illusion has been shattered. It was a point in time there was a point in time where we didn't take no L's. Besides Pearl Harbor, right? We hadn't took any L's in a long time. And then 9/11 happened. And that shattered the illusion that we are untouchable. And a lot of Americans, like I said, we're sheltered. And we don't think, not we, because I believe, you know what I mean? But a lot of Americans don't believe that things can get bad here and it can affect them. Everybody's going on about their daily routine at this point. You know what I'm saying? What's up, baby doll? You all right? What you need? Um, Corey Farr said, "Let's show them why they need black people." Yeah, look here, man. The world knows. The world knows. You dig? I don't necessarily want to go into the whole racial thing, because people want to start crying and whining and shit. But um, TK said right, but it's been a while. Exactly. Yeah, it's been a while. Terry Williams said most people ain't going to tell you what they got going on. The ones who don't talk. No, 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 Terry. Listen, bro. I get that part right, but check this out. Those lunatics in the street that are running around, jumping in front of cars, right, in front of the ice trucks, screaming and yelling and crying. They not ready. They not ready for war, dog. They not. They don't own any firearms. Let's keep it real. The real pro gamer said, "Bro was wearing a beanie indoors. Either broke his f and has no heating, or is a fool." No, I'm just comfortable, homie. I like my hat on. You dig? You know, this is old black man shit. Okay, this is what old black men do. We walk around with our scully on in the house. You don't know nothing about. My daughter laughed. You don't know nothing about this, homeboy. You don't know nothing about this. This is what we do. We walk around with the hood on. You dig? So yeah, man. Sleeper cells. They concern me. Is anybody else concerned with these sleeper cells? I believe they're everywhere. I believe they're everywhere. I believe they're so ingrained into society. Any given moment when they get that word, man, shit can go up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm staying very vigilant. I'm staying keep my eyes open. You dig? Cause it's going down right now. It's up in the air, man. You dig? Cool Rooster said, "Shave your beard. It looks very ugly." Don't look, Roaster. You don't have to look at my beard, sir, ma'am. Okay, I like my beard. All right. Who else we got in here? Cool Roster came in the troll. You just want to be a troll, sir? But anyway, um, Dubai. Y'all seeing what's going on with Dubai? Uh, and other parts of the Middle East are being affected as well. And it seems like every day we wake up, it's a new development. You dig? They hit the airport. You understand? Miss Pam said, "Them fools are in the military and can activate at any time." Yeah. So where are the? I want to know, where are the kumbaya? Everybody come over here, come to our land, walk across the border. Come on, guys. Everybody, come on. See, if Kamala would have gotten in, if Kamala was president, we'd have had way more. We'd have had way more sleeper cells and adversaries here. I saw an interview with Big Homie CC. Have y'all seen? Y'all know who Big Homie CC is? He said this. Listen, real quick. He said this whole, and this is just speculation. This is just what he's saying. He said the whole ICE thing, the whole ICE mass deportation, is really about sleeper cells, and it makes perfect sense to me. You know, they're not gonna come and tell everybody, "Hey, it's sleeper cells in these towns and these cities." But that makes perfect sense. If the U.S. had intelligence on sleeper cells, why wouldn't they send ICE out there? They said they actually found sleeper cells in Chicago. You dig? That's why I have no problem with ICE. Do I believe they unalived those two people unjustly? Absolutely, they did. They definitely should be charged, and I believe they will be charged if the Democrats get back in office. But I have no problem with ICE, man. You know, they got to clean up this country. You know what I'm saying? Get people who are undocumented up out of here. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they work hard. You think people that is, oh baby, I need. Thank you. Y'all think people in the sleeper cell aren't working hard? They're normal people. They blend in. I keep hearing stuff like, I'm gonna be done in a little bit, baby. You can have the TV. I just need the light. Doritos? No, it's only a little bit in there. You can go get the crumbs out of there. Sorry, y'all. Um, I keep I keep saying people saying, well, they're snatching up hardworking people. Bruh, do you think people that are in a sleeper cell don't work? They work too, and they probably work hard. You dig? Michelle Gitman said, "What the f? You're right. Only second time, stupid person. I don't know what that's about." TK said, "What the f? These people who coming in on a distraction like we aren't having a serious conversation. Yeah, people coming to troll. I don't be tripping, bro. I don't be tripping." Miss Pam said they are already monitoring us via smartphones and TV. Yeah, I believe they have intelligence. But they listen. They didn't stop that dude that did that thing last night in Texas. You understand? So that dude, he was Senegalese or Sudanese. He was Sudanese. He was Sudanese or Senegalese. Um, you think it's not a thousands more like him? There are thousands more people like him out here. You understand? They're not talking on phones. They're not really talking to other people like that. They're not YNs that are gonna go on the internet like, yeah, I'm in a sleeper cell. You know what I'm saying? Now they real low key. They train their whole life for this. This is their destiny in their mind. You know what I'm saying? Miss Pam in Texas, last night in Texas, there was a Sudanese. Yeah, yeah, baby. Last night in Texas, there was a Sudanese man, and we got to be very specific because they'll pawn that off as him being a black man, and he was not a foundational black American. We got to let that be known. He was a Sudanese man from Africa. Okay, he shot up a restaurant. Okay, they said, I'm gonna try to get this right. They said he pulled up. I'm not even gonna try to give you the play-by-play. I listened to it last night. But anyway, long story short, he committed a terrorist attack last night. He had a shirt on that said "Property of Allah." They found a Quran in his vehicle. They said he had I think a Sudanese shirt under or some type of shirt under his undershirt on. But they're suspecting it to be a terrorist attack. Yes, baby. Yes, man. Um, Frederick Hayes says, "Do you think America doesn't have sleepy cells in other countries?" I'm sure they do. That's not the point. See, then you got the white dude that comes in here with his bravado. Do you think we don't have sleepy cells and other? Listen, homie. I get it. We know what can be done outside of this country. The point is, you got millions of Americans running around here sleep. Okay, they out here sleeping, man. They out here twerking at the bar. Okay, they out here on Instagram just oblivious. They probably don't even know what a sleeper cell is. There are many Americans over 25 years old that don't even know what a sleeper cell is. This is the point. You understand? Michael said, "I pray I'm not stupid, not book smart. Common sense, sir. I have a question. Please answer. Are you okay or you good with Trump?" I don't have a problem with Trump, bro. Um, Maybe because I'm ignorant to the inner workings. I don't know what Trump is doing, bro. Like, I don't know if what he's doing is right or wrong. See, everybody thinks they had the answers, and I don't speak definitively when it comes to uh, Donald Trump and his war plans. Everybody's running around talking Like they know his war plans and why he's doing this. Oh, he's doing it to cover up the Epstein files. Do I believe that? I don't believe that. Is that impossible? No. It could be very possible. But I'm a trusting person, sometimes to a fault. I believe that Donald Trump has this country in his best interest. That's one thing I do believe. Not only because he's an American, but because he has a lot to prove. You understand? Not saying that he can't make missteps. I'm not saying that. Um, but if he says it's time to go to war, I back that. Okay, it's time to go to war. You dig? Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Matthew Wood says F Trump. Yeah, and what now? Okay, you got emotional and you said F Trump. Now what? I'm even saying people. Let me tell you how delusional people are. I'm saying people online. They making that little post like he's here. They got a map of Mar-a-Lago, and they telling Iran to come get Trump. Like, are y'all stupid? Like, listen, man. Listen, bro. Like, they would really be okay if they took down Trump. Do y'all understand the ramifications that would come behind that? These people, right? They are so emotionally unintelligent, right? They're so brainwashed, right? They're so butthurt, and they don't like this man so much. They would not mind if a foreign country bombed somewhere in Florida. They would be all right with that as long as Donald Trump is gone. Now, this is the type of emotional people that we cannot have running this country. You dig? Matthew Wood says he may have the best interest for white America, not for us. Let me say this. Let me say, since we got to go there, um, this is my belief. I believe that Donald Trump, he wants to maintain white supremacy. Absolutely. I think he wants to keep things the way they've always been. Black Americans, he acknowledges that we built this country. You heard it out of his mouth. And I like that. I like that he acknowledges that. The Democrats, they'll call us minorities, people of color, whatever the hell they want to call us. They bury us. They don't even acknowledge us. You understand? But I believe Donald Trump, I don't believe he wants us eradicated. I don't believe Donald Trump wants us to suffer. I believe Donald Trump just wants to maintain the rank and file. You understand? Whatever. Okay, if I had the power, any race is gonna want to maintain the power. Let's just be real. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm talking about realistically. See, a lot of y'all can't have this conversation without being emotional. You understand? If it was black folks up, right, and we were the you go back to the State of the Union, you go look in that crowd. It's mostly white folks. It's probably 10 black people in that crowd. If we had that power, we would want to maintain it too. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're not really power hungry, we would share power and stuff like that. But Donald Trump, he wants to maintain white supremacy. Let's just be real. They know that the numbers are down. The birth rate numbers are down. Okay, so their goal, one of their agendas, yes, absolutely, is to maintain white supremacy and to stabilize, okay, and to cultivate and to save the white race. Let's just be real. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. You dig? Um, do I think he wants to see black America suffer? No, I don't. Do I believe Democrats are doing things to make us suffer? Do I think they care about foundational black Americans? Absolutely not. Han John said, to be honest, universe doesn't got nothing to do with what you are. You are a human. You belong to. Okay, all right, cuz. Michelle said, no, hey, baby, you and I are no BS. I don't know what that means, sweetheart. Han John said, people judging, I'm saying American to become America or to become Israel. I don't know what you're saying. Don P, my man Don P is in the building. What it do, homie? He said, people acting like anything you say positive, Trump is the same thing as caping for him. Emotions have no place in a grown man's conversation. Listen, in 2016, I would have related to those people. But you should be growing as an individual. You understand? You should be growing and learning, and you shouldn't be in the same place mentally as you were in 2016. So I took on a new perspective as I learned more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not emotional. You dig? Drill dude said, love him or hate him, if the news would show all the facts without obviously steering society towards an agenda, if you're going to hate him, at least be sure you know the truth. I agree with that too. I agree with that too. Young Bryce said, doesn't matter who you are legally or not, you shouldn't be racially profiling people. I don't know the context of what you're saying. I don't know. Give me some more context behind that, bro. Joseph says, Kenny, if a nuclear war happens, we all are fucked. Not Americans, not just Iran. It would be everyone. There's a lot of keeping those buttons from being pushed. Yeah, yeah. Han John said, I don't have to become none of those. I'm a human. Okay, you're a human. We got it, bro. You're human. No problem. Tommy Benson said, the ladies called me T. Okay, all right, good. Kenny Power says, nah, it's not about black or white. It's rich versus poor, elite versus the working class. Yeah, in some contexts, bro, like, when people say shit like it's not about black and white, it's about classism. Listen, yeah, in what context are we talking about that now? You know what I'm saying? When it boils down, let me say this, man. I hate to be like this. When it boils down to it, yeah, it's always gonna be about race, bro. This shit ain't never going nowhere. The system was built off of race and racism. It is until as long as America is up and running, this shit will always be about race, man. You dig? At the very core of the issues that we go through. You understand? Richard Rich says, too bad you didn't grow up in NYC in the 90s. I bet you can't find anyone that was there in the 90s to say you right. Right about what, my man? Young Bryce says, you can have racial preferences when dating, but racism is never okay. I'm white and prefer dating Latinos. Don P said, that's a fact, Top Flight TV. No matter how many people want to deflect off the race talk, yeah, bro, let me tell you, man, they try to get us in the bag with that shit. I agree in some instances, it's about classism. Yeah, the powerful people want to stay powerful. You understand? Absolutely. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty, man, the poor white folks and the rich white folks will team up to subjugate niggas. That's just what it's always been. And the poor white folks will be happy with that. They will have no problem with that. You understand? They won't want any money. Cheetah Puma said, I heard NYC was racist, especially in the 80s. Man, where was it? Where, what place? This shit ain't never going nowhere, bro. It's always gonna be here. Han John said, I don't like gangsters. I exist and I breathe. I hear and I stand alone. I don't know what you're talking about, Han John. Can you say something that's relevant to the conversation? Cheetah Puma said Canada was not. I don't know nothing about Canada. We talking about the United States of America, man. You dig? Listen, while I got y'all here, I got another platform coming out. Y'all know we got Top Flight TV. I just started another platform called 68 West, where we're gonna have real stories from real people, real testimonies. I just did an interview last week from a girl who received a 20-year sentence for being in possession of 96 grams of fentanyl. Real deep, real deep conversation. I'm gonna put the link somewhere in my bio so y'all can go subscribe to that, man, because that's gonna be a deep joint right there. You dig? Eugene said, read what I said. What did you say, Eugene? Looney Tunes, what up, homie? Yeah, you already know what it is, man. You already know. You did. It ain't about money, man, because as long as people have status, man, as long as you're not a nigga, as long as you're not black, as long as you're not getting treated like a black person, that's when people really have a problem, when they get treated like a black person. You dig? That's when they'll storm the goddamn Capitol. Oh, you treat me like a nigger. Let's go to the Capitol we go. Yeah, man. Yes, indeed. Han John said, I can't deal with you tonight, Han John. You just talking about nothing. Okay, let me find Eugene's comment real quick. Eugene said, but yeah, I really wanted to tap in, man, and check the temperature, see what everybody think about these sleeper cells, man. Again, there was a stabbing on the highway. How, bro? How? How in the world? Three people got. What's the word? What's the YouTube word for a knife? You know what I'm saying? But how you get stabbed on the highway, bro? A busy highway. Don't make no damn sense. Kenny Powell says, "What's your thoughts on small hat supremacy?" It's all the same, brother. There's no difference. I don't separate the differences. It's all white supremacy, man. That's what it is. You dig? We're not going to do that. We don't distinguish the difference. We're not even going to attempt to play that game. You know what I'm saying? Because think about what y'all ask yourself this: when Kanye got canceled, in which he deserved to get canceled, in my opinion. When Kanye got canceled, what European, not European, but what American white folks stood up for him? Who? I don't see it. Type it again, Eugene, or put it in the super chat, because I don't see your comment. Sorry, brother. If there's a difference, when they canceled Kanye, who came to his defense? Nobody. Right. Right. They all follow suit and canceled Kanye right along with him. You dig? But look, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I'm gonna come back probably next week or something. Cheetah said, I understand your point of view as a black, but whites are not the only racist thing. It's only one to me, man. Giovanni said, on your defense, big dog, follow suit, stop smoking them vapes. Yeah, I do need to stop vaping, bro. I've been meaning to put it down. Yeah. Kenny Powell says, Israel has a stronghold on America's politics, media, and tax dollars. I believe that. I believe that. Yeah. Look, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm up out of here. Peace.